Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to sit down and just play with a bunch of new makeup. I have a bunch of products that I want to test out today. So of course I will link everything that I showed today down below in my description box. If you're new here, I hope you stick around and subscribe. And if you like trying new makeup videos, give this video a thumbs up and let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so let's start off with some skin prep. And I am gonna be using a new product from a brand that I love. So I want to say thank you to Dalba for sponsoring a portion of today's video. They have their beloved spray serum. Everybody goes crazy over this for good reason, including myself. But they have a new product that I've been testing for 7 days, and they wanted me to try this out to see what I noticed in my skin. This is the Dalba Double Layer Revitalizing Serum, which is an amplified version of the first spray serum. Just like the first spray serum, this does have 2 layers. The top layer being plant-derived oils, which provides skin relief, locks in moisture, and gives you that glowing skin. And the bottom layer being white truffle serum. White truffle is a powerful antioxidant. It's also Dalba's signature ingredient. It improves skin elasticity, smooths fine lines, has powerful anti-aging properties, and locks in hydration. So before you use this, just give it a good shake so you blend them together. This formula is 100% vegan and has been tested for sensitive skin. I have rosacea, I'm acne prone, and I experienced no irritation and no breakouts. This also has a subtle citrus floral scent, very light and natural, nothing overpowering. And you can see the gorgeous glow this gives my skin. I also find that this layers beautifully under makeup, specifically matte foundations or any foundation that may be a little bit too dry for me. As I've gotten older, my skin is leaning a little bit less oily, which, you know, could be a good thing. But I do feel like I need more hydration than I have in the past. And I found that some of my matte foundations just do not look good. So I have to reach for something very, very hydrating like this underneath. And then it's kind of the best of both worlds for me. So you can pick this up on Amazon, which is probably one of the best parts about Dalba. Super convenient, and they are running a promo right now. So you can grab both of these products or either or for a really good deal. So I will link that down below. I believe that ends on the 21st. So all the information will be down below in my description box, but highly recommend checking these out. There's really a reason why everyone loves them. So all the information about the promo and where you can pick them up on Amazon will be down below. Thank you again to Dalba for sponsoring this portion of today's video. And let's go ahead and get into trying some more new makeup. All right, so I want to talk about a perfume that I picked up recently. I am so impressed by this. I think a lot of you guys will love this. So I picked this up from Sniff. They've been coming out with a lot recently and I'm here for it. This is a collaboration with a content creator named Alex L. So this is called Heal the Way. The notes on this are pistachio cream, Divana, Palo Santo, vanilla absolute, musk, and amber. I was sold. When I was reading those, I was like, okay, I'm looking for no patchouli. I don't want anything harsh. And I really wanted just something super comforting and yummy, and they gave it to me. If you thought Kayali Pistachio Yum was gonna be more musky and sweet and soft and cozy, this I think you would absolutely adore. It is just like a hug, honestly. That's what it smells like. And it definitely has that creaminess to it. This sort of reminds me of Crumb Couture from Sniff, which is my all-time favorite, but that is super edible. Like, I'm talking crazy sweet bakery. This is like the more grown up, not as gourmand, if that makes sense. This and Crumb Couture, if you like the type of scents that I do, you will love these. I do have a code with Sniff. It's like 10% off, so I will put it on the screen for you guys. That's like a new code, but highly recommend this. Just want to give it a shout out because they knocked it out of the park with this. This is literally a 10 out of 10. They killed this launch. All right, before we get into eyeshadow, I have some lip products that I purchased and I'm really liking them, so I wanted to show you them. So the first one is gonna shock you because I'm not the biggest fan of Rem Beauty, but I did pick up 2 of these new lip products. So these are the Glossy Balms. I saw some people use these online and I was like, you know what? I think that's gonna be for me. This is an interesting doe foot. It has that curve to it. This is the color Skinny Dripped. And these are pretty sheer, but it's quite thick. So I really like how thick and shiny these are. I also got this shade, which is called Strawberry Soda. This one shows up definitely more than the lighter one, but these just give you that beautiful, like high shine, juicy look. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the strawberry one. They're thick, but they're not like Give Beauty lip gel thick, if that's what you're thinking, but they just hang on. They give you this beautiful shine to your lips, and I find them to be hydrating too. They're not like the lip oils from Rem that literally dried your lips to like a prune, but I think this is a good launch from her. Actually, probably my favorite from the brand. I can't tell if I smell anything because, you know, I'm smelling that sniff perfume. So I just had to shout these out because I feel like I don't often talk about stuff that I pick up from Ulta, and I need to do better because I do shop at Ulta. I just don't do Ulta hauls as much as I do Sephora hauls. I went ahead and wiped that off because I did want to show you another lip product that I purchased from Ulta. So I went ahead and grabbed 2 of these Polite Society Polite Pout Glossy Lip Balms. Initially, I purchased one and I really liked it, so I went ahead and got another one. So I have Strawberry Glaze here. These actually have a decent amount of color. Of course, they do sheer out, but whoa, these smell incredible. This formula kind of reminds me of the Ole Henriksen that I love, maybe a little bit more color payoff and thinner overall. Look how gorgeous and glossy these are. This second shade is called Pink Grapefruit. So I'll just apply this to the lips. But I have to say that Too Faced does really good with their lip balm products, although I know this is Polite Society. I believe it's owned by the same brand, and these all have a different scent, I think. Now, comparing this to the Rem Beauty, these are not as thick and they are a little bit more pigmented overall, but of course you have a different applicator as well. I just think these are absolutely stunning. If this would have been at Sephora, I would have recommended this for the Sephora sale because I really have been enjoying these. All right, so for eyeshadow today, I want to go in with this mini palette from Too Faced. So this is the Born This Way Cold Smolder Nudes palette. They came out with 2. They did send these to me in PR. This one just stood out to me, and I've seen a couple people demo this, and the shimmers looked really, really beautiful. I think it was this shade right here. It was like just super blinding. And then you also have 3 mattes. So I think this is a cute little palette. I want to test it out and see if the quality is there. So I'm just going to go in, I think, to this middle shade right here and start applying. Okay, so that is definitely deeper than I anticipated. Whoa, much deeper. So I'm actually gonna jump in and mix a little bit of this lighter shade in and see if I can blend them together. Packs a punch. I'm actually gonna blend up. I've been doing this lately and I just like how it blends into my eye. Okay, I guess we're going deep because, you know, I'm already feeling like I need a shade in between these 2, but that's okay. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that lighter matte just to soften. I am gonna jump into this really beautiful shimmery shade. It just looks very high shine and it almost has a cream feel to it. So I'm gonna blend this right in the center of my eye, trying to keep it a little bit heavier lower. And then I am gonna jump into the deeper shade with a new brush and just add some depth, blending up into what we already did. So I went ahead and did the other eye off camera, but I feel like I need to add maybe a little bit, I'm trying to think, maybe of this shade right here, just to blend that center shade in. I feel like this is performing okay, although I messed up in the beginning, you know, it's probably my fault. I just applied way too heavily because I thought that shade was gonna be much lighter. I'm gonna dip in a little bit to this deep shade just to give some definition right at the lash line. So I went ahead and curled my lashes. I'm gonna apply just a little bit of mascara because I'm gonna be using pre-adhesive lash clusters. I got them off Amazon and I tried a bunch of different brands. I love the Kiss brand, but you don't get a lot in a pack. So while I let my mascara dry down, these are the lashes that I'm gonna be using today. I've used them a couple times and they're really easy. So they have an adhesive on them and you just pop them under your lash and then tweeze them together so they really stick. But I think I'm going to start out, I don't know if I wanna do the longest. Maybe I will do a 14 millimeter on the outside. So I'm starting out with a 14. You just press them. Okay, my camera didn't focus. Of course it didn't. You press it under the lash and then you push them together, press pretty firmly, and it should be on there. So now I'm using a 12. Did my camera focus? Probably not. Okay, I'm just going to squeeze that together. I think I might do another 12. Maybe if I am not so close to the camera, it will focus for you guys. Okay, so there's another 12. And then I'm gonna finish off with a 10, which is the shortest one in the pack. And there is your lash. You can even stack them. I usually don't though, but you definitely could. And then if you wanna just make sure that everything is nice and secure. All right, next I wanna move on to foundation. I feel like my eyes don't look the best. It could be my fault, but it really is bothering me. And I'm trying to not make myself crazy being a perfectionist with trying new makeup videos and just makeup in general. But moving on to the foundation, I wanna try out this new MAC Studio Fix foundation. So this is reformulated. The original matte foundation has been remastered with a soft matte finish, 87% skincare ingredients with a pump, 67 shades. So to me, it sounds like they made this with a pump, but they also made it more of a soft matte finish rather than a matte, which I can see because honestly, matte used to be the thing and now it's like glowy, glowy, glowy. So I ended up getting NC20. Cheryl said that this was incredible. She was like, you need to get it, you need to try it. I don't know if this color is perfect. I am trying out a new self-tan. I actually think it's okay, the self-tan, but this probably isn't gonna match. So let me just zoom you out a little bit. So we have the skin prep on. I just have that Dalba serum. Oh my God, this shade match is not it. You know, trying new makeup videos really humble me. Cheryl said this was an incredible formula. She likes it better than the original. And I used to love the original. The original was super popular when I was in my party days, if you will. And I remember when I used to lay out in the sun and even when I used to do tanning beds, which, whoa, this shade is really, really not matching. I'm trying to figure out if I can literally salvage this. Okay, we need to have a talk. I just took a photo. What is happening here? The color match is so bad. I actually have to remove this. I can't do it. Okay, so we're just going to pivot here. I'm gonna remove this and then we're gonna try this one. This is the Urban Decay Face Bond that I purchased during the Sephora sale. All right, so I wiped that off and I'm going back in with that Dalba serum, which definitely is needed for this Urban Decay foundation. I've been testing it behind the scenes and the first couple times I wore it, my texture looked so bad. I happened to try it with this serum and then also with another kind of like oily SPF, and that's when it looked the best. So I'm hoping today we have a better outcome. My face is red because I've literally just rubbed everything off. But this is the Face Bond foundation from Urban Decay. I have the shade 13, which is light medium cool olive. I'm hoping that this shade is gonna be better. Yes, okay. But I'm going to, oh my gosh, worlds better. I'm going to start applying this. I'm using a beauty blender. This foundation is like, it's so interesting because it's really dry, which typically I would think of like the Double Wear from Estee Lauder, but it's a different texture. It's thick. You really need to moisturize your skin Even if you are combo oily, that is the only way that I can wear this foundation. Otherwise, it just looks like my pores are massive. So this is what the foundation looks like. You do get a good coverage. It is a thicker formula, like I said. Now they say it's self-setting, but I always use powder. I'm gonna go in next though with a cream contour bronzer. I have this Persona Mojave Bronze Multi-Stick. I think this is like an extension, a new shade, and this is a really good formula. So I'm just gonna, actually I'm gonna work off of my hand. I'm gonna, you know what, err on the side of caution instead of just throwing a bunch of stuff on my face. So I am taking my beauty blender here to press this into the skin. Curious to see how this Urban Decay works with creams, which so far seems okay. This Persona is more of a cool shade, but I think this is just like an extension because they originally only had a few. Okay, so that blended beautifully, very easy and quick. The shade honestly is perfect for me right now. It's just not too dark so I don't get carried away. But for concealer, I got some samples with my orders. So I wanted to try this Very Valentino concealer, 20 shades, all day hydration, full coverage concealer. So I have these samples here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab, I think this light shade, which is light R1, I believe. And I'm gonna use, wow, there's really not much to work with. I might have to jump into the LN3 as well. Okay, so, oh, wow. This is much lighter than it looks in the sample pack. So I'm gonna lean more into that second shade. Feels quite thick and hydrating. I mean, a little goes a long way because I literally have like nothing to work with in this sample and it's doing a good job. So I'm trying to brighten up here. Okay, so this is what the Valentino concealer looks like. I think it looks pretty good. Just from what I'm seeing in the mirror and the way it feels, it almost feels a little bit cooling, but I'm pretty impressed with this. Let me know if you've tried this down below, but my first impression is good on this. For cheeks, I do have a cream blush, but it's interesting because this is the Polite Society powder blush stick, which confuses me because, I mean, it's a cream blush, right? It does have that powdery feel to it. I think I'm gonna use the bottom of my sponge. This is a really beautiful color. It's called Palm Springs. And then I'm just gonna tap it. Okay, nothing's really coming off when I do that. Maybe because it's like that powder formula. It's really, really thin. Maybe it is meant to be used on top of powder, I don't know. This shade definitely does not mix with my eye look. You know, we're just here. It's pretty. I feel like it's easy to work with. I just need to blend around these edges here. I'm interested to see how this does once I set my face. And I'm gonna use my Lunar Beauty powder in light. So I'm just gonna pull this down around my nose area and then also right here. And then I'm just gonna bring it around my jawline. And I think whatever's left over, I'm just gonna press. See, I feel like powder disrupted that, which is so weird because it's supposed to be a powder blush. To add a little bit of bronze back in, I wanted to try out this Smashbox Halo face palette. So this is back to Cali. They sent these over to me. If I could get them open, holy moly. Okay. So in here you have highlighter, 2 blushes, and then you also have this bronzer. These feel pretty hard pressed, but I thought we would give the bronzer a try. So let me go ahead and grab a brush. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit to my cheeks. The blush just got weird. I feel like it's just clinging and not looking the best. I don't know if it's because I should have, yeah, I feel like it's like patching right there. I don't know if it's because I should have used it over powder. I'm gonna go into this peachy blush. This one feels pretty powdery. And I wanna soften the Too Faced one, or I keep saying Too Faced, it's Polite Society, Babs. What are you doing? I'm actually gonna grab a little bit of this shade. And I'm just sweeping this all across my cheeks. Next, I want to try out this Fenty Beauty highlighter that I picked up during the sale. So I've tried this a few times and I don't know if I'm loving it as much as I thought I would. I have the shade Prosecco, so I want to try just dry. It gives a really pretty glow, like on camera. I feel like it's reflecting beautifully, but I almost feel like I can see it face on, which is kind of strange because this is the second to lightest shade, but I don't know. Am I getting that cast from the front? I'm just not totally sold on this formula or this color. I was expecting more like an Amrezy ABH gold, and this one leans almost like a bronzy gold. It's still light, but again, there's just something about it that isn't wowing me. I kind of regret buying this, unfortunately. So to line my lips, I'm gonna go in with this Freck liner, and this is in shade 1. I raved about this formula in my Sephora videos. It is so long lasting, so creamy, pigmented, just super thin. So I'm gonna try shade 1 because I have 3 and 4. 3 is definitely more cool. 4 is more of like that rosy nude. And then this one's supposed to be just like a light, warm nude. So let's go ahead and line the lips. Hopefully we can save this look because I feel like I'm just losing my mind here with all of the issues we've had today. Okay, I absolutely love that lip liner. I just love the shade of it too. It's more of a warm, light nude. So for lipstick, I got these in from Nabla. So these are the Beyond Blurry Sheer lipsticks. So I wanted to swatch these and then decide which one to use. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this first one is D or DEA. Okay, this formula is interesting. It almost feels like there's a silicone in there. So this one is Divinize. How do you even say that? I really do not know. And then the last one I have here is called Celeste. These don't feel dry. I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like a silicone slip. So I'm trying to decide. I think I want to go in with Divinize. Why can I not figure that out? So these are supposed to be sheer, soft blur, definitely sheer. They have like a coconut scent. These are interesting. You can definitely build up the color, but they have this slip to them. They're not powdery. I was anticipating a powdery like blot formula, and I'm not getting that. Almost like a lip balm kind of feel. All right, guys, so here is my finished makeup look. Trying out a bunch of new products. Definitely not my favorite, but I want to try something new. I want to see if you guys prefer when I do go over the products at the end like I typically do, or if you find it repetitive, because I do kind of explain my thoughts as I'm applying them. So I would love to know your feedback down below, but I'm going to try today to not do that. I feel like, you know, my demo spoke for itself. I think the eye look with the blush really threw me off. I started losing myself a little bit when we started to do the foundation, and the shade was just so off for me. Definitely not my best eye look ever, but I did want to just demo the products for you and let you guys know my initial first impressions on them. So I will link everything down below, including the Dalba products. Definitely take advantage of them because the sale does end on the 21st. So all the information will be at the top of my description box. I hope you guys did enjoy this video nonetheless. As always, thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.